Howdy, my name's Allaryin, and this is Gnomoria. It's basically a Dwarf Fortress Lite with user interface, so it's actually a pretty playable game. It's currently in version 0.8.3, so there's a lot of room for improvement. There are some bugs and things, but it's currently on sale for 20% off of his normal asking price is going to be. So I picked it up after looking at a couple of screenshots, and I've appreciated it. It is... well, let's just see. I'm going to start a new game. Unlike Dwarf Fortress, the world generation is pretty simple by comparison. There's just the maps. It doesn't go through the whole deal of making a world with its history, and you know, we don't have to worry about whether or not this particular tribe of elves is friendly or anything like that. Game's a lot simpler, but it's also got some more complicated supply chains. You have to go through a lot more hoops to get to certain things, so we will see. Alright, so here I am. I'm playing the game at a lower resolution than I normally would, just to make the video smaller. But started off, you start off with food and drink. There are only a couple of kinds of food and a couple of kinds of drink in the game so far. These are actually oak trees. It pains me that he has them called oak trees, but whatever. Just panning around, seeing what we've got here. Got some apple tree, one apple tree over there. A lot of regular oak trees. There's an apple orchard. These little things are strawberry bushes. There's a good apple orchard. I will probably... actually, that's one of the first things I'm going to do is square this off and make this a high production apple orchard. But let's go up in elevation. One of my big complaints with the game is that the mouse wheel is backwards. So when you push the mouse wheel forward, you actually zoom out. You go up in elevation. And when you pull the mouse wheel backward, you go down in elevate. It's kind of confusing. If you play, you'll understand. These are cotton plants, and we need cotton. My first goal is going to be to set up beds, but unfortunately, unlike Dwarf Fortress, where one tree equals one bed, the supply chain to get a bed in this game is ridiculous. You need to set up 4, 5, 6 different... 4. Anyways, I think 4 crafting stations, dozens of resources going in and out. It's kind of involved. But as far as a place to dig in, I don't know. Maybe we'll just dig straight into here. Let's go ahead and bring the camera back down to depth 0 here. And yeah, we'll just dig in here. Okay, so right-click menu brings up all of the interactions. Oh, one other thing. You start off the game with a population of 9 with a decent set of random skills assigned. Well, not random, but basic skills assigned. People are defined into professions pretty sanely compared to the defaults in Dwarf Fortress currently. These are my gnomes, all 9 of them. They have ridiculous names, of course. But okay, so right-click, and first things first, I'm going to mine out an entrance. And I'm just going to dig that there for now. And you see how the area that I selected turned yellow. The area that turned green is the area that some people have decided to work on. I've got 2 miners, 2 picks, so 2 squares are going to be diggable at once. One of the first things that I will want to get once I get metal is some more picks so I can start mining more. But I figure we'll probably just hollow out much of this little hill and set this up as just kind of an entrance to our actual settlement. Okay, so I've got that going. I also need to chop some trees down, and we're not going to be environmentally responsible about this. We're just going to cut the trees down. In this game, similar to Minecraft, you can get little clippings or saplings of trees and replant them. And so one of the things that you can do is have an area of trees that you harvest over and over and over again. You know, replant them after you cut them down. And you see these two are highlighted green because I have two axes to start with. So, oh man, the music in this game. Okay, so that is one annoyance. The audio is just ridiculous. This is a volume of 10%. And it is just deafening me right now, so I'm actually going to turn the music completely off because it's too loud. Alright, so I've got 4 of my 9 dwarves doing something. Gnomes. Yeah. We're going to cut down a bunch of trees. We're going to do that. Let's go ahead and designate a stockpile. Stockpiles are basically just like in Dwarf Fortress. But you can name them easily. So this is just going to be a log pile here, and we are going to go in and just logs go into that pile. So unpause and see what happens. So already trees are getting cut down and the logs are being pulled out there. Everybody has the... Yep, so the mining is going pretty quick. Okay, we'll pause real quick again here. The next thing that I need to set up is a workshop. I need to build a sawmill. This is the first of the... Oh, I need stone first. So we're actually going to have to mine some more. That's going to be fun. Before I set up mining, I may as well do some foraging. That's the other main agricultural task. Actually, you know what? We're going to cut clippings from these apple trees over here. Just select all of these little apple trees here. Just cut a ton of apple tree clippings, because the process of cutting the clipping from the apple tree, I believe, counts as... I think that counts as... Let's see if it drops apples. Yes, it does. Okay, so it drops the apples as well. So it's slightly more expensive than just picking the apple, but it gives us the sapling to replant elsewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these guys just pick all of those, and I'm going to plant them over in this area to flesh that out. One other thing that I need to do is I need to start getting... I'm going to pause again. I need to start getting some cotton, because we need cotton to make beds with. And beds are my first priority. We actually start off the game with some strawberry. The food that we start off with is strawberries, and we start off with some bread. Let's see, here's some more, and we'll... This is probably enough cotton to... we'll pick that area too. Okay, so that's probably enough cotton designated to start. Now these guys are going to work what's closest to them, so while they're over here, they're pretty much just going to decimate this entire orchard area. While they're in here, and there's not a lot I can do to dissuade them from it. You can set priorities on tasks. See how fast this is already cut down? They actually do work really fast, but there's so many little tasks to perform that it seems longer. Okay, so we've got that going. We've got food for a while. We don't need to freak out about it too much. You'll also notice that it's dark inside here. That's because there is actually fog of war in the game and a light radius around the gnomes. So it's going to be fun. But we're going to go ahead and start digging down here. Terrain, dig, stairs down. R key to rotate what I'm doing here. And we'll designate that. Unpause. And one of my miners is going to come over. The other one looks like, oh, there we go. And pause again. And Z level down. And this is still dirt. Although this right here looks like, no, this is dirt too. So we're going to dig down again. and I'm pausing every layer so the diggers don't run off to go do something ridiculous. Man, this is one thing that kind of irks me about the game. The mining is just a little bit more complicated than in Dwarf Fortress. Let's see here. This is still dirt. You're still digging all of this into dirt. We've actually come to the bottom of these ponds. These ponds are actually a little bit deep, so that's interesting. We're going to put a well there so we have water in case we need it. The gnomes are slightly less reluctant to drink non-alcoholic beverages than Dwarf Fortress dwarves are. So again, we're just going to keep going down until we hit... Ah, phooey. I made double staircase down. That's... bleh. Because I wasn't paying attention. Yes, I can't do that there now. Great, so let's see here. We can build... See, I can remove ramps. I think I can deconstruct. Okay. They're gonna... Let's see if they... You can tell them to deconstruct those staircases. Yep, there we go. Okay, sweet. Alright, that did work. Okay. And it just turned it into a vertical hole. That's fine. So back to digging stairs, not ramps, because... Yeah. Man. This is why we gave everybody upstairs a big set of tasks to do. Hey, there we go. Okay, that's stone. What is that? That is... I can't tell what this... Serpentine. Okay, alright. So that's good. We can... So we will... How far are we? We are 6 down from the surface. And that's fine. So I'm going to now... just start kind of dig out a space here. Alright, and now I'm going to go ahead and dig some tunnels here. We only need a couple of stone to get started. You'll notice how the stone is taking them much longer to dig than the dirt because stone is harder than dirt. While they're doing that, I'm going to designate that this also be cut, and this also, not that one. Okay, that's done. That's probably enough stone freed, so we're going to go back up here to the surface where all of our lumber is. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it inside here. I'm going to hollow out a good portion of this hill upstairs. So let's go back down here. Alright, they're getting a good amount of stone. This will be enough stone to get a couple of things started here. But one of them is going to go back up now and just lay waste to all of this. We're going to set a pile to put all of the extra dirt into in a minute. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that right now. Hello, mouse. Designate another stockpile. And I'm just going to make this little tiny pile, 3x3 pile, for soil. And call it my dirt pile. And so they're going to start just hauling all of that in there. And they get a little confused, but the dirt can actually stack up, so that's nice. Alright, that's good. Now I can make my first building, sawmill. And I'm going to rotate it so the inaccessible side is facing the wall. where we're not going to be pathing. And we'll set that up. And so that's highlighted green, so somebody's working on that now. They're going to haul 10 of these logs over there. And also, once those 10 logs are done, somebody's going to go downstairs and get 10 of these stones. I need to also let's see here. How do I want to line this up? I'd like to have hallways 3 wide. It's kind of a dwarf fortress habit. But in this game I tend to make my rooms 5 by 5. So I'm going to make some rooms like this. And that will also free up a bunch of stone. So once this sawmill gets finished, somebody's going to start going downstairs. It looks like they've already got all the logs they needed. And you'll notice that pile is full. So and this gives all the idle haulers something to do. Let's see how... See, the foraging still hasn't happened. Oh, those people, they're still fetching apples. I mean, we have a ridiculous amount of apples that they picked from all of that. Oh, they are foraging. So there's some freed up cotton and a couple of seeds from every one of those that they picked, so that's good. The next thing we're going to want to do is actually get some of this in the ground. But I'm going to wait for people to finish these other tasks. One of the things that I've noticed is while you can schedule just a ton of tasks at once, if you do, stuff gets kind of confused. Oh, you know what? We need to get our yaks back here. That is one thing. Pause. Agriculture. Pasture. And I'm going to pasteurize my animals. Man, we're going to need to clear some of the space. For now, I'm just going to stick them right there. And the yaks. So somebody's now going to grab, oh, see, that's highlighted, so somebody's grabbing one of them. Yeah, he's grabbing that guy. And they start you off with 2 of those. And they do produce milk. And eventually, once the game really gets going, they do start breeding pretty rapidly. And so you can start eating them. But initially, they just don't, you can't grind them into sausages just yet. Oh, there's the other one. See, they'd wandered off. But they're good about staying here. Alright. Man, that is taking forever to get that stone hauled up. But it looks like it's almost done here. So that's good. Okay. I'm going to build down here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it over here. I'm going to dig that area out, and I'm going to make this whole stretch a stone stockpile. I'm going to build in here some of my stone workshops. A stone cutter is just like the sawmill for... It's just like the sawmill, but for stone. Fine stone. Oh, we haven't finished the sawmill. So I'll tell you about that in a second. Sawmill turns logs into planks. And the stone cutter turns rough stone into stone blocks. And most things that use wood or stone require planks and blocks. So basically we set up a couple of these workstations and they are just on permanent reuse cycle. There we go, finally finished. And you'll notice that the chair, it made the table out of the wood that we used. Since it was this brown wood, it made a brown table. And it was this gray-green stone, and it made a gray-green chair. So that's cool. We go into the sawmill, and it can only produce one product, a plank, so we're going to craft that, and we're just going to stick it on repeat. This workstation has 20 storage capacity, and you can designate a priority for it. We're going to leave all the priorities at default right now. But once that gets going, so our carpenter, who is going to be one of the people who can cut down trees, is going to come over and just start producing wooden planks, because those are, there we go, that's green, so somebody's working on that, and they're just going to start hauling logs. I'm going to set up another stockpile. I'm going to set this pile right here, and this is going to be a log stockpile, and I'm going to make it just, actually I'm going to leave it there at the default priority, because I haven't figured out how to really optimize those. But what I am also going to do is I'm going to set my max containers down to like 3. So, because once we start producing crates to fit more than one log in a block, the crates they'll be greedy because they're going to be produced right by here, and they're going to go straight into the pile. And yeah, so we're going to limit the number of containers allowed in that stockpile. And this is just going to be a log pile as well. I'm going to make right next to it a pile for planks. So once that gets going, I'm also going to, while I'm at it, go into this pile and set it to a max containers of 0, because I don't want any of those wood crates going up to the surface. Okay. Oh, you see the cows have produced milk. We don't have anywhere set to haul the food off to, so the rancher noticed that the cow needed milking, milked her, and left the milk lying around. Unlike Dwarf Fortress, where you have to make barrels to hold all of your liquids, liquid do have just, inherent containers, and you use barrels to increase their storage capacity. So here it looks like a barrel can hold 64 units of liquid, but you don't have to have barrels for that. Okay, so that's good. So they're never going to haul crates out to here, and they will allow up to 3 crates in this one. Let's see, bam, wood, producing planks. If we look in the sawmill itself, you'll see that its available space has dropped 2, and so has its efficiency. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to designate another stockpile, and this one is going to be for planks. And I'm also going to limit this one to a total of 3 containers. Each container can hold like 32. Looks like let's give the diggers something else to dig. So those are going well. That's going well. The next thing that I really need to do is get some crops in the ground. We're nearing the end of our first night. We've foraged all of everything it looks like that we want from the surface. I'm going to pause and take a look and see what things look like on downstairs. All this dirt, yeah, these piles of 64 dirt, you don't have to use crates to optimize dirt. That's still working. Oh, we got some sapphire over here. There's not really much to do with sapphire, but hey. Alright, stockpile here. And this is going to be just my raw stone pile. Goods, stone, raw stone as opposed to the finished blocks. So they'll haul all of these rocks and get them out of the way. And this is the workstation that's going to be using those, so it'll be nice. Back upstairs. But we're nearing midnight. That's one other thing you'll notice is the days are much, much shorter, or longer, than in Dwarf Fortress, where Dwarf Fortress has 30-day months and 4-month seasons, and dwarves eat like, once a month. The gnomes in this actually do consume food and drink every day, and they sleep every day. It makes a lot more sense. Each season is 12 days, so we've got some time before the summer hits, and our crops do grow much faster. So yeah, I need to designate some farmland. One of the first things I want to get in the ground is actually wheat, just because it takes so long to grow. So I'm going to go ahead and designate this area. It's not letting me click it for some reason. There we go. I guess I was clipping on the top of the screen. Let's go ahead and see. We have 32 wheat seeds that we started with. And we already got 72 cotton seeds. We've got a lot of cotton lying around. But I'm going to go ahead and tell them to plant that wheat there. And I'm also going to designate this section right here, actually this small strip, for cotton, and this bigger one right here for strawberries. There we go. Okay, got all of that set up, and you'll see the farmers are doing their thing. They're planting seeds. Yeah, okay. And the planks are being produced and hauled out. And so now that the planks are being removed from the sawmill, you'll notice it's working at 100% efficiency. So that's good. Now that we have planks going, we need to make sure that our stonecutter, who's had time to get set up, is also doing the same thing with rocks. So let's get that going. And sure enough, somebody's already hauling rocks out of there. But they're putting the rocks in the piles. And I'm pretty sure rocks don't stack up, so we will actually need to make some crates for this. And I'm not going to limit this on the number of crates it can hold. And you'll see there, she doesn't have anywhere to put the finished blocks, so she's actually slowing down as she goes. She's already down to 75% because she's done 5. It's 5% per thing, yeah. So we need to make a place to put those finished blocks. And I'm actually going to knock down these 2 walls. I went to the trouble of making little rooms, but whatever. Oh, she's a miner as well. And since this is a slow job, she's decided to mine. I'm going to make some little piles for blocks in here. Because I'm going to have my stone production right here. And actually, I'm going to turn this right here. Yeah, we'll turn that into, this area will be the block stockpile. So she will produce. One other thing is, if you don't provide them space to put their finished products, like this one is almost, that stockpile is almost full. So what you'll notice is, first of all, this sawmill, it's probably still at, yeah, it's slowing down. I'm actually going to speed the clock up a little bit here so we can see what this does. Run it at double time. Oh, somebody fell asleep on the floor. Because we don't have beds yet. Because somebody's been up for 24 hours. This sawmill is running down. Once it hits 0%, once it's completely full, they will actually stop work there. So you can just have these places turned on and continue producing all of the goods you need just whenever they become available. So on demand they get used. The other cart, this one fell asleep. Oh, they're all asleep. Yeah. So let's go back downstairs and look. He fell asleep in the staircase. They fell asleep while mining. Oh, that's coal. And coal is used like you would expect it to be used. There's no distinction in this game between coal and charcoal, and you don't have to prepare it before you can use it. So that's good. We've got that field is already planted, and this one's ready. I'm going to wait until all of these fields are taken care of before I give any more agricultural tasks. Hopefully these people will wake up soon. The next workshop we actually need for... Oh, do I make... You know, I'm going to go ahead and make the carpenter next. And that's going to be where our wooden furniture and crates come from, because we have a lot of wood production going. The next thing I'm going to need to make, though, is a place for, see, all those planks coming out of there, which will speed the sawmill back up again. Yep. And hauling blocks from downstairs, because only those first two workstations can use the raw materials. Okay, going to designate a stockpile for blocks out of this huge area because we need them all. Block and 0 containers on this one because I don't believe I really want any more than that. So that's good. Alright, so we have that getting set up. We'll be able to start making wooden furniture soon. Mostly what wooden furniture really means, though, is crates for storage density. The next thing we're going to need to make is we have all this cotton lying around. So if we look at our supplies, goods, what is it? Is it under plant? I think it's under plant. No, that plant only shows seeds and clippings. We have 320. Yeah, we've got 200 apple clippings, so that'll be good. I guess maybe it's under cloth. There we go, cloth. Fiber. So we have 55 cotton. So we'll be able to make a lot of cotton cloth once we have cloth production facilities. And I'm going to go ahead and dig out a similar chunk up because I'm running at high speed. We've already squandered that much of the day. I don't like running the clock at full speed because of that very reason. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll just set that. But hopefully by the end of this day we'll be able to get them some beds. I need to start picking a place to actually put a dormitory and start hauling some food inside, because we're okay. So all of the wheat is in the ground, all of the cotton seeds that they're going to plant are in the ground, and they're planting the strawberry seeds. Since they embarked with strawberry seeds, they're getting them out of that little bag there. Okay, workstation. We're going to make a loom, which is the workstation that processes fiber into cloth. That dirt pile is still going because that store is really dense. Are we actually starting to run out of lumber that I felled? We've processed a lot of wood. That's cool. Let's go back down and see how the stone production is doing. Oh, see, that's full. So nobody's hauled down into there yet because they're just using that, and that's fine. But this cleans it up really nicely. You'll also notice this darkness really gets kind of in the way. So one of the things that we can use coal for is for torches, and they are crafted just like Minecraft torches pretty much. And they serve basically the same purpose. Alright, I'm going to designate a stockpile. Yeah, I guess I'm overlapping on top of that. And this will be for the raw. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to put all of it in there. Wait, no. No, we're just going to have a cotton pile there, and this pile here is going to be for cloth. And that'll be good. Okay, so they're going to now go find all of that cotton that's lying around everywhere and haul it into there. Hopefully with this here, one of the things that the carpenter lets us do is actually make furniture, and beds are big, but beds require cloth. This will allow us to build cloth. So this is the final, so yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings in our supply chain in order to make beds. We're nearing the end of our second day, and we're about to start queuing up bed production. Thankfully, they're getting this taken care of pretty well down here. Okay, I'm going to set up the dormitory off this direction because I can. We're going to widify this a little bit more. And we're going to put the dorm... how do I want to put this? Let's go ahead and put it right here. That's 6. Okay, that's probably enough. And we're just going to designate that room and just fill it full of beds. I'm going to stick 12 beds in there eventually, but we're only going to queue up 9 initially. So that'll be good. That's where we'll put everybody's beds. Let's go back upstairs. Oi, the upstairs ain't. Okay, and you see the bag of seeds got hauled over there to hold the cotton. Okay, this workstation needs to get put on auto-produce cloth from fiber. There's only one kind of fiber, the cotton. Oops, I didn't actually commit that. Oh, I did. Okay, cool. Alright, so now... Oh, and there that starts. Once that starts going, we're going to be able to actually start making the beds, finally. That's good. All of those are done. That is going well. That's what cotton looks like. And yep. Sweet. Okay, that's producing well. And that's going well. Let's put the Great Hall down this way. It is hard getting the sizes right on some of these things. But either way. And this will be our Great Hall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. And this will be the dining hall, which means I'm going to put food storage and actually may as well dig some. Let's go ahead and put food storage. That is 3 wide. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out here. So I'm actually going to make that there. So we're actually going to put doors right there, hallway leading up into that, and then this will be just the dining hall. And we're going to put food storage and production down here. So that's a hallway. That's a tiny little room there, so we're going to make it that big. And there we go. And so that'll eventually be a hallway leading down. But for now, I won't need to do that. Okay, so we're going to put food and drink down here, and I'll just make two piles, one down the line on either side. And I think we store more food than drink, so I'll make the 3. The wide one will be food, and the narrow one will be drinks. And we're going to let that process, but that work is going well. That work is going well. They're falling asleep again, but we have... Wait. Oh, there's the bolts of cloth. Plenty of bolts of cloth. let's start some beds order. And these I'm not going to stick on auto repeat, and I'm just going to make regular beds. I don't know if there's a difference between 4-poster beds and beds other than the 4 posters render differently, because the crafting recipe is the same. So I'm just going to make regular beds. And we'll schedule 9 of those. We'll make 6 more crates, 3 barrels, and 3 more beds. So we've got a lot of work queued up for that carpenter shop. And once people start waking up, one of the things that's going to happen is those barrels are going to be used for storing milk. I want to get the bedroom and the great hall set up and call this this video. I don't know how long I've been going here. I didn't watch the time when I started. So we're actually going to run in fast-forwarded mode now, just to hopefully speed things up and get some of the stuff set up. And this will be, we'll call this an episode. Long first episode, because it's a long game to get bootstrapped. And I consider people not sleeping on the floor a fairly important part of the bootstrap process. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to build another workshop, a stone mason, which is basically the carpenter for, this is the carpenter, and I'm going to actually turn him sideways, maybe? Yeah, sideways. We'll turn that one sideways just because. The stone mason is basically the stone furniture maker, and we're going to use this guy to make, to turn some of these blocks into doorways and tables and chairs and things, because the wood is more important for the things that can be used only out of wood. Alright, while that's going, can make a stockpile here of, this is the drink pile, oh wait, the food pile, and this one is going to be the, this pile is the drink pile. Drink. There we go. Okay, and they're allowed to use as many containers as they feel like to increase our food density. But that's going, alright, almost done with this. Finished hauling the logs from downstairs, or from upstairs. Oh, there we go. Okay, and so this one, all I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule, see this can only make doors, tables, and chairs. And right now I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, oops, I'm going to make the 2 doors for the Great Hall. And then I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I will make 8 sets of tables and chairs. But I'm going to make just 4 initially, because why not? There we go. Alright, so that'll get us some furniture, and we'll go ahead and move the doors down in priority. Once they actually do the tasks themselves go pretty quickly. It's the hauling that's actually a lot of the work. But we have, yeah, we do, oh, okay, stone doesn't require that, so we do actually have a good amount of stone available. I was getting worried there. So that's good. Oh, this pile here, I was going to make a furniture pile. Let's see how we're doing. We have a bunch of beds and some crates. Excellent. So let's go back downstairs. We're almost done here. Let's set up, not designate that yet, but we're going to build furniture. Build furniture bed. And I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to designate all of those beds. We're going to make this area a dormitory. Well, the beds have to be placed, so let's pause for a second. This guy's probably done. Yeah, he's just churned through that that furniture order. So that's actually already done. So I'm going to request 4 more doors out of this guy. And you know what? 4 more tables and 4 more chairs. And that should use up, actually, we might be needing to increase our block production to keep up with that demand. But I'm going to, you'll notice how I was able to assign 12 beds to be placed even though I don't have enough beds. That's one thing that we can do here instead of the Dwarf Fortress. But I'm going to put doors. We don't have any, we've never had wooden doors, so it won't let me assign a wooden door. But I have stone doors. So I'm going to be able to put stone doors, and stone doors in front of the bedroom is important in Dwarf Fortress. So I'm going to assume it's important here. So I've assigned those 4 doors for placement. And somebody's going to haul the furniture for that. Let's go up and see how those beds... See, the carpenter is probably... The carpenter probably is... Yeah, the carpenter... Alright. Still going. Get this going. See, those doors are in place. Those doors are being assigned now as well. I'm going to... Furniture... Tables... 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Furniture. Chairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so we got a room full of tables and chairs now. And once those get hauled down, we will designate that room as the Great Hall. We've got the food stockpiles assigned, but there are so many other tasks going that people haven't prioritized that yet. And I guess because they're sleeping. Next episode, so we're going to get this going. Next episode, we're going to go ahead and seed that apple orchard like I thought, and also probably secure some of this area. I don't know how combat works in this game. I've never had problems, but I've not played a game more than about, barely into summer. I believe, oh, and see, they're actually sleeping in the beds, so that's a good sign. So do we have 3 more beds queued? Yes, 3 more beds are queued. Okay, so we're just kind of waiting for the rest of the production chain, it looks like. So I think next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to build some walls just to sort of close off this public area. I'm going to probably wall off here, and probably wall off around the outside of here. And we'll make them double high, and we'll carve off some ramps and things. And the other thing that I'm going to do is set up some sort of supply shed for the farmer. And that'll probably be that, and we'll probably actually do a little bit more mining, try to find some metal, try to use some coal, and see how that goes. But this is wrapping up, hoping that they will finish quickly so I can just show you that. I don't want to fast forward here, because this is going pretty quick. Run, my little minions! Run, run, run! Oh, we got just a handful of pieces of furniture left. Yeah, so those need to actually be produced. And so do these. But, oh, and you see the limit of 3 and 3 on those stockpiles got used. So they're not putting any more. Looks like some more beds are being made. So since I told each of those piles that they're allowed to use 3 crates, they will use 3 crates, and anything else will just pile up on the floor. I'm going to cancel this. Actually, I'm going to change this stockpile. We're going to change this to be a place to put seeds. So it's not going to be a wood pile anymore. It is going to be a plant pile, which is where seeds and clippings and raw wheat go. So that'll be good. And this is going to be now allowed a couple of containers. So that'll change that up. But alright, let's see, do we have our beds? Oh, so close. Alright, that room's done. Designate area, dining room, Great Hall. You can only have one of your dining rooms designated as the Great Hall, and it's used in determining your nomads, your new people in flux. So that's almost done there. Or that is done. We need lights. I think that's one last thing that I will schedule on that. Let's see, that carpenter is done now. The carpenter can make torches. I'm going to make 2 torches. And a torch is a plank and a piece of coal. But, yep, see? Strawberry seeds are going in that one bag. So next thing, yeah, we're going to set up some. We're going to set up a tailor, start making some bags. Going to wall off this area next time and set up just something better for, you know, my farm production. But that whole, let's go ahead and designate this area the dormitory. Oops, that's not good. Let's try that again. Designate area, dormitory. Jajang. Okay. So that room's the dormitory, and that room's a great hall. And you can look at the rooms, and it calculates their value. It's not. I mean, it's I guess similar to Dwarf Fortress. Torches are made. Let's place those torches in the Great Hall, and call it an episode. My name is Allaryin. Thank you for watching. We'll try to make this interesting. I'm looking forward to playing more of this game. And you see the torch is permanent light, and you'll notice that the light does shine through doors right now, so that's kind of annoying, but whatever. It works. So yeah, this is Allaryin. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.